Yeah, very good morning. Okay, so today we are going to uh, see the very important series, so-called Fourier series, and which was proposed by a scientist or mathematician, Joseph Fourier, and he was the mathematician who have contributed in trigonometric polynomials. Okay, and he has published his result, okay, in 1807, okay, when he was trying to solve the problem in on a heat transfer on a metal plate. Okay, and till that time no general solution was known to the heat equation in general case. Okay, and he has proposed that the solution can be approximated by uh, the sum of the Fourier as can be represented as a Fourier series. Okay, so since at that time functions and integrals were not having the general notion or precise notions, were not well defined. So later on, Dirichlet and Laplace and all, they have come up with the precise formula, okay, or existence, or you can say the convergence of that infinite series, and that they actually uh, uh, do represent a good approximation to periodic functions. Okay, so it is the idea is here to approximate a periodic function by a uh, some of the in terms of very simple periodic functions, that you will see that I will be giving you very general function. Okay, for example, fx equals to x on the interval minus pi to pi. Okay, and then means you just assume that that is periodic. Okay, means that we will I will let you know soon that what do we mean by the periodicity of the function. Okay, and then so any periodic function can be expressed in terms of Fourier series. Okay, that we will try to see. Okay, by looking at some examples, and we'll try to look at some graph as well. Okay, right. Okay, so the very first thing is we can define this definition, periodic function. Okay, so we say a function is periodic. uh, it is very uh, a useful thing here. So we say that f is said to be periodic with period t. So there are two things, with is periodic and with some period t. Okay, if we have the following condition, means, so for example, I hope I can relate this sine function here. So sine x is periodic with period 2 pi, because you know sine of x plus 2 pi is equals to sine x. Now you may ask, sir, it is also sine x plus 4 pi is also sine x. Okay, sine of x plus 6 pi is also sine x. Okay, and so on. Okay, so so what do we mean by periodicity is the smallest period for which it happens. Okay, the smallest value of t for which this sine x plus t is sine of x. So which will be the 2 pi here. So you can see sine of x plus pi is minus sine x, which is not going to be sine x. Okay, so pi cannot be the period of this. So the smallest period is you can say 2 pi. So that we will say it is with the period 2 pi. Similarly, cos x. Okay, cos x also is a function which has the period 2 pi. Okay, so and then you have this tan x. Okay, function, this tangent, this tan of x is a periodic with period pi, right? You know tan of x plus pi is 10 x. Okay, so for this the period is pi. For cos and sine the period is 2 pi. Okay, so the smallest value of t for which sine of x plus t is equals to sine x, for this are examples. So here you can generalize this to any function f of x plus t equals to f of x, that is t is the smallest among them. Okay, right. So if x plus t is f of x, you can write simply f of x plus 2t is also f of x plus 3t is equals to also f of x. Means this also gives you f of x plus nt is equals to f of x. That you can prove. You can repeatedly you can use this condition here. So t is the smallest among them. Okay, the scalar or you can say scalar multiple of t where the scalar constant is any natural number. Okay, so all will define the period, but we will say it is periodic with period t, which is the smallest one. I think it is clear to you now. Okay, right. Now also t must be a non-zero constant. We are not talking about the negative. Okay, so we are talking about t must be a non-zero constant. Okay, so for all, so if this condition is true for all values of x in the domain, then we will say the function is periodic with period t. Okay, right. Now, so if there exists a least positive constant t with this property, it is called the fundamental period. Okay, so we call that capital T as the fundamental period, or also known as primitive period, basic period, or prime period. So there are several synonyms to calling this. So it is very clear from here there is a least positive constant. So that will make it clear that we are talking about the smallest among them. Okay, least positive constant. Okay, right, fine. So if so, it can be shown that if you have two functions f and g, okay, and they both share the same period p, then their linear combination will also have the same period. So that can be shown, okay, by using the linearity. So I think that is very straightforward. Af plus b of g is a new function, and you want to, this is a period p, I want to show that it's going to be af of x plus p. It's very, you have to rewrite the things, that is b times g of x plus p. Now apply the definition of scalar multiple of a function f of x plus p plus b time g of x plus p. Now since both are function with period p, so f of x plus p is f of x, g of x plus c g of x, and if you rewrite everything, I'm writing in straightforward here a plus af plus bg of x. Okay, so which shows that if you have two functions are sharing the same period, then their linear combination will also have the same period. For example, you can take sine x and cos x. Okay, so if you take this a times sine x plus b times cos x, this function, sine and cos both are of period 2 pi. So that their linear combination will also be a function. It will be also a periodic with period 2 pi. Now, instead of this, if you take, let's say, c times sine x plus b times tan x. Okay, so since tan as a periodic with period pi, but sine is with period 2 pi, so they don't have the same period. Okay, so means they don't have the same period, you can't say that this is going to be period with pi. Of course, this is going to be period with 2 pi. That's so sure, right? Because tan of x plus 2 pi is tan of x, and sine of x plus 2 pi is sine of x. Okay, right. So this is what the difference here. So when you have the same period, the linear combination will also has the same period. Okay. So these are the examples of sine functions. So red graph will represent the sine function, and green graph will represent the cosine one. Okay, and also you can verify here that between any two zeros of sine function, there is exactly 1 zero of cos. Okay, so that you can also look at here. Okay, so in between any two zeros so of cos, okay, or sine, it is cos function has exactly at 1 0. Okay, similarly, if you start with two zeros of cos, Okay, so there is exactly 1 0 of sign. Okay, right. So they are linear independent solution of the homogeneous equation y double dash plus y equals to 0. That actually prove your means that actually give you the one example for that. Okay. So another function which will be which can be giving you which is giving you the sawtooth function. Okay, so that will generate actually sawtooth waves when you write down its Fourier series, corresponding Fourier series. That will give you the sawtooth wave, means like you will have so if you recall, that's going to be right. I think it should be kind of sawtooth wave. So where these are very sharp, so you have these are the sawtooth. Okay, so this is how means this is here the equation of these lines are periodic. So I have already written what is the expression for these lines. So if you can look at this line. Okay, this is y equals to x. Okay, but it is going to be -1 when x equals to minus pi, and when it is x equals to pi, it is pi. So it is not y equals to x, it is going to be x by pi. So when x equals to minus pi, it is s of x is -1. When x equals to pi, it is value 1. And then we have taken, so this is what is the length of the interval minus pi to pi is 2 pi. So after 2 pi, so if you take sine of x plus 2 pi, so if you repeatedly generating this, okay, if you repeatedly generating this, so means you have the next is here is this one. Okay, and so on. Okay, and when you are trying to approximate or try to write series, okay, then you will see that can be actually approximate, okay, this output. Okay, right. So similarly here you have this square waves here. So you will see square waves in many mechanical systems. They will occur in like that electromotive forces, okay, in circuits and all. Okay, so this is here for this you can write in this equation. So you can see between, so you can talk about minus pi to plus pi. Okay, so minus pi to 0 the values is -1. For 0 to pi the value is 1. So this is what it is. See, okay, so you can look at that this function is not continuous at the end points. Okay, for 0 minus the value is -1, for 0 plus value is 1, for minus pi plus you have minus pi negative. So minus pi plus you have -1, -1, minus pi negative will be value is 1, and so on. So at the end points of the interval and at the this 0 point, the function is discontinuous. Okay, but here we have assumed that this is a periodic function that can be seen here by looking at these square waves. Okay, similarly instead of square waves you may have the rectangular waves as well. Okay, right. So let's see how they can be approximated by the Fourier series. Okay, let's consider the following set which you have already familiar. Okay, and they form the a type of orthogonal sequence. So if you recall, this is going to be orthogonal sequence, and you know over the interval minus pi to pi. Okay, so you have already shown that sine of mx into cos of mx dx, cos of nx dx is equals to 0. Okay, for all m comma n from the yesterday's lecture, and you have this is minus pi to pi cos mx into sine nx dx is equals to 0 if m is not equals to n. Okay, similarly if you here you can interchange the role of sine and cos here. Okay, so both are the same thing. So these two conditions will tell you that this is actually form a orthogonal sequence. Okay, so that we have seen yesterday. Okay, right. So this has this following set has this problem. So here weight function is 1. Okay, the constant, that is 1. Okay, now, so if you look at the graph of these, so cos x function, you can see the graph over the 0 to 2 pi. So okay, so for cos 2x you have means you are crossing. So earlier you were crossing is 2 times, you're crossing x-axis now 1 2 3 4. Okay, and so on. Okay, so here if you have cos 3x 1 2 3 4 5 6 6 zeros. Okay, and so on. Similarly, you can look at the sine function. So the sine function, you will have odd number of crossings between 0 to 2 pi. Okay, open interval I'm talking. So if you include the boundary points as well, it is having 3 odd numbers. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5. You have then 7, I think. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So is here you have 2n plus 1 number of zeros. Here you have 2n number of zeros. Okay, right. So this is what the at least observation can be is possible here. So they are periodic curves. Okay, right. Now the question is when we can write the following inequality. Okay, so you have this a0 plus a1 cos x plus b1 sin x plus a2 cos 2x plus b2, means you have taken the linear combination of all of the member of this set. Okay, so you have this is a0 here, a0 coefficient plus a1 here, a1 multiply a2 here b1. So for sine functions you have bi's, and you have cosine function you have ai's. Okay, and since cos 0 is 1, okay, so that's why here we have taken a0. Okay, so you can see to make it uh, uh, means like we want to write it, we want to write the Fourier series, so there we will want to relate it. So that's why we are preserving the constants as it is. So a0 plus, so you have taken the linear combination and you can write this as equals to this. I hope you can give the answer for this, that as long as this series converges, you can always write this. Okay, so if the series converges, this upper series will converge, then you can always able to write this. Okay, so this is fine when the infinite series on the left hand side converges. Okay, and you can you can apply those all the comparison test and all, okay, to see whether the series converges or not, or for what values of a0 and an and bn they are converges. Okay, right. Okay, so these are the very important conditions which are known as Dirichlet's condition. Okay, so which gives you the sufficient condition so that any periodic function can be approximated by the following series. Okay, which we are going to call as Fourier series. Okay, so you will see in later stage we will make it here a0 by 2. Okay, that's no problem because you can take a0 equals to 2 here in that case. If you write with a0, means if you want to with precisely with 1. Okay, so there is no harm in it. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so now we are going to have this sufficient condition for the convergence of this series to the function values. Okay, right. So first thing is f must be absolutely integrable over a period. Okay, so if you have f is with period of 2 pi, so what's the very first condition? So let's say f is period with the 2 pi. Later on, we will generalize this integral, generalize this interval. So minus pi to pi we have now. We are working on it. Okay, so later on, we are going to work with minus L to capital L. Okay, so that will be later stage. Okay, so now it is giving you f must be absolutely integrable over a period, means over the interval minus pi to pi mod f of x dx, okay, is finite, means converges. Okay, that's the meaning of absolutely integrable. Okay, you take the magnitude of the function and then you apply the integral. That should be finite. Second condition is f must have a finite number of extrema in any given bounded interval. So you can look back in the sine and sine function graph. You will have only finitely point of extremas. Okay, means only finitely many oscillations you will see in between any 0 to 2 pi length interval. Okay, so if you keep on increasing this, means you are keep on increasing the oscillations inside the interval. Okay, right. So f must have, means it will cross, means if you take the any interval minus pi to pi, so it should be having only finitely many up and down, you can say, inside in the between the interval. Okay, right. So the last is f must have a finite number of discontinuities in any given boundary. So means f either will be continuous everywhere on the entire interval, or it may have at the most finitely many discontinuities. Okay, so for example, you can see the square waves. Okay, or means you have the square waves, you have the finitely many point of discontinuity at 0, pi, and minus pi. So in any interval you talk about, so I am talking about minus pi to pi. Similarly, you can talk about the next interval is pi to 3 pi. In this side, the interval is you have minus 3 pi to pi. Sorry, minus 3 pi to minus pi. So you will see the only end point and the this at minus 2 pi. Here in this case, the point of discontinuity. Only finitely many discontinuities are they allowed, okay, for a function in Dirichlet's condition. Okay, so these are the three conditions which are called Dirichlet's condition. Okay, which gives you sufficient conditions for the convergence of the Fourier series, and it is going to be equal to function values, or some other thing is also there. What about the point of continuities and what are the point of discontinuities, that also will be distinguished. So for this case, for this, now we can summarize this in the now theorem, okay, which gives you everything what you require. Okay, right. Let's take Fourier series on minus pi to pi, and which is going to be you have the guarantee from followed by this theorem. Okay, so the very first thing, if you try to look at, is f of x be periodic with period 2 pi. That's the very first thing you have to check, whether function is periodic with period 2 pi. Okay, so with period 2 pi means it is so we are right now working with the period 2 pi interval. So that's why here period 2 pi. Later on we will work with period 2l. So similarly, that you can generalize that result. Okay, so let f of x be periodic with 2 pi, and let's say it is piecewise continuous in the interval minus pi to pi. So that actually justifies the point that f has finitely many discontinuities in the any bounded interval. Okay, right. Further, let f have left hand derivative and right hand derivative at each point of that interval. So it may be possible that f is not differentiable at all at the interval. So we don't require the differentiability in that case. Okay, so it is only require the continuity. Okay, so it only requires the continuity, but more than that, what you require is at least left hand derivative or right hand derivative at each point you have taken, that should exist at least. Maybe if they are equal, you know that their function becomes differentiable. Then what is giving you that then the function f can be represented as the infinite series. Okay, so called the Fourier series, which converges with the coefficients given by the Euler formulas. So we will see how they will be derived. Okay, what are this a0, an, and bn formulas? Okay, so which converges with the coefficients following. So a0 equals to 1 upon, so you can combine these two, okay, in a single formula, and bn equals to this. Its sum is, okay, so this is a very important thing here. Now, its sum is f of x except at points x0 where f of x is discontinuous. Means you can write this is equals to f of x. Okay, for all x in AB such that f is continuous. F is continuous at x. Means for at the point of continuity, this series is actually equals to the function value. Okay, it is equals to f at, you can say f at x for all x belongs to AB such that f is continuous at x. So what about the point of discontinuity? Okay, means that suppose a point is there x naught where the function is discontinuous. So what can you say is that is actually equals to the average of left hand limit and right hand limit at that point. Okay, so that's this. So there where f of x is discontinuous, there the sum of the series is the average of the left and right hand limit of f of x at x naught. So if a point is, suppose x naught is a point of discontinuity, then in that case, that Fourier series is actually equals to you have the left hand limit and right hand limit. You can evaluate x naught plus f of x naught minus, okay, and divide by 2. So the average of that. So at the point of discontinuity. Okay, so for example, you have this scene, this square waves. Okay, square waves are discontinuous at 0. So suppose you are able to identify, so we are going to have that. Okay, so if you are able, if you are writing the respective Fourier series for this case, so at 0 and at minus pi and pi, so there are 3 points of discontinuities. What will be the corresponding value that we are going to see? Okay, that will be that will not as f at 0, because f at 0 does not exist. So for that case, f at 0 minus plus f of 0 plus divide by 2, average of them. So that's going to be minus 1 plus 1 by 2. That's going to be 0. Okay, similarly for minus pi and at my pi, that will also come out to 0 values. Okay, so that we are going to see. Okay, right. Well, so before going to solve the examples, okay, so let's see how these formulas are derived. Okay, right. So let's assume that f of x be such that this is happening. Okay, for all x belongs to minus pi to pi. So I am taking the very, you can say, function is so nice that this series converges. Okay, series converges and equals to function of x. So means all of the conditions above are satisfied. Okay, so then I am interested in determining this a naught, an, and this bn, which are known as Fourier coefficients. Okay, because of it is given by Fourier, so we have this Fourier coefficient. Okay, right. So now we want to determine this a naught, an, and bn. Now, since this infinite series, we are assuming that this series is so nice that I can perform the integration, I can perform the differentiation term wise. Okay, so these things, assume that at this stage you can assume that these things are there. Okay, so we are not going to investigate at what condition this should be true or not at this place, because very early stage where it is not in the scope of this course. Okay, so what we are interested in, how to determine a naught, an, and bn, provided this series is so nice that we are allowed to do the term wise integration. Okay, so the very first thing is you integrate on both sides with over the interval minus pi to pi. Just simply integrate both sides. Okay, now means integrate minus pi to pi f of x dx is equals to, you have this constant time, this thing, that's fine. Now if you look at inside this infinite series, now you can see cos function and sine function, both are periodic with period 2 pi. Okay, and that you can also determine that this integration over minus pi to pi cos nx is also 0, and integration minus pi to pi sin nx is also 0. Okay, so that we are going to do though. Okay, right. So this is what here, integrating both sides with respect to x over the interval minus pi to pi. So what we get is, I have written each term, okay, separately here, and then so this integral, this first integral, so a naught by time, a naught by 2. Okay, so that is a constant that is coming out, integration minus pi to pi dx, that is nothing but the length of the interval, that is 2 pi. Okay, so it will give you that first integral value is, you have, that is going to be pi times a naught, because 2 will get cancelled. Okay, now look at here, these cases cos nx, this integral value. So cos integration is sine. Okay, sine nx by n. Now you know sine n pi is 0, sine n of minus pi is 0. So that will also turn out as 0. So sine integration is minus cos, but you know that. Okay, so but then you can investigate that cos of n pi and cos of n time minus pi both are the same thing. Upper limit minus lower limit will also give you these values are also. This integral will also giving you 0 value. Okay, so what is remaining is pi time a naught equals to this. Okay, so this is what it means if you transfer this pi on the right side. So a naught equals to 1 by pi this. So this will be the first Fourier coefficient a naught, or you can say constant term in the Fourier series. Okay, right. Now for n greater than equals to 1. So we are going to use the fact that we have already, I have already mentioned to you that we are going to use this fact that integration minus pi to pi sine mx cos mx dx is 0 for all mn, and integration minus pi to pi cos mx sine nx dx is equals to 0 if m is not equals to n. So we are going to use that. Okay, so I think this is here cos nx. So because both are the same thing here. So if m is not equals to n, similarly integration minus pi to pi sine of mx times sine of nx dx is equals to 0 if m is not equals to n. So these things we have already seen. Okay, so we are going to use that fact now. So to identify the coefficient bn, okay, or sorry, an first. Okay, so what we are going to do, we know if you multiply by sine mx both side or cos mx both side. Okay, so there are two ways. So one is, so what, for determining an, what we are going to do is we are going to multiply cos mx both side and integrate over the minus pi to pi. For determining bn, we are going to multiply both side by sine mx, okay, and then integrate over the interval minus pi to pi. Okay, so m is some fixed numbers. M is any 1, 2, 3, 4, any natural number. Okay, m is fixed. Later on we will see how it is going to be related. So this is why for an, multiplying 1 by cos mx and then integrate over minus pi to pi, what we observe is the following. So I have written all the okay terms, okay, in the expression, and then you can prove that this integral value is 0. Okay, so this integral value is 0. Now this integral value bn coefficient will anyway 0 whether m is equals to n or m is not equals to n. Now an coefficient will only be 0, will only be non-zero whenever m equals to n. Okay, otherwise it is 0. So this is why, so the you have this is and the value of this integral is going to be pi. Okay, so pi time am, so it is only non-zero when m is equals to n. So that's why here n is equals to n, and rest values of ai's are 0. So pi time am is equals to this integral. So and then am equals to 1 by pi integration minus pi to pi fx cos mx dx. Okay, so this will give you, for getting a1 you multiply by cos x and integrate. For getting a2 you will multiply by cos 2x on both sides and then integrate. For a3 you multiply by cos 3x on both sides and then integrate, and so on. So this is giving you the formula for Fourier coefficient an. Okay, so similarly you can go with the, for evaluating the, for deriving the coefficient of sine nx, that is bn. So for that, multiplying 1 by sine mx both sides and integrate. So what it will give you the following. That's already in the similar fashion. So instead of cos now it is sine here. Okay, and then an coefficient becomes 0 whatever the value of m and n. Okay, so bn coefficient will only be non-zero whenever m is equals to n. Elsewhere it is 0. So that will give you pi time bm equals to this, and then bm equals to 1 by pi. Okay, so this establishes the formulas for coefficient, the derivation. Okay, in the very special case. Okay, so but this is going to be exist in the general case as well. These are the same Fourier coefficients over that interval. Okay, so you have these are the formulas now. So a naught equals to, so when you are going to ask, when you are going to be asked to write the Fourier coefficients, or for means write or if you want to represent f as in terms of Fourier series, okay, then you have to determine this Fourier coefficient by substituting here. Okay, right. So let's take one example, okay, which is a more general square wave, okay, which is more general square wave. So which is going to be k between 0 to pi and minus k from minus pi to 0. And by looking at the graph, it is clear that this function is periodic with period 2 pi. That's very clear. Okay, the length of the interval is minus pi to pi is 2 pi. The second thing is this function is continuous everywhere except at the endpoints and at equal to 0, the midpoint of the interval. Okay, so this is function is piecewise continuous. Okay, and also it has the left hand derivative and right hand derivative at each point of the interval. Okay, right, and you have between the interval where the function is continuous, that is also differentiable as well. Also there, only you need to have that non-differentiability at the 0, pi and minus pi. Okay, so therefore all the Dirichlet conditions satisfied, so it can be represented by a Fourier series. So those conditions can be verified. Now, so it is here. Okay, I have written this. Okay, the expression for f, and by looking at the graph, you can certainly get the what is the period is 2 pi. Okay, certainly we are looking for non-zero k. So f is periodic with period 2 pi, f is piecewise continuous, f is differentiable everywhere except at 0, pi and minus pi. We are talking about the over the interval minus pi to pi. Now we want to write, so this satisfies the condition. So now we want to express it in terms of Fourier series. So for doing so, okay, so we have the following Fourier series expansion by using that theorem. Okay, so here you can evaluate the a naught, an and bn by using the Euler's formula. So a naught is nothing but 1 by pi integration minus pi to pi f of x dx. Now use the definition of f of x. It is going to be minus k over the interval minus pi to 0, and it will be k for 0 to pi. So these are written here, and that you can turn out to be 0. Okay, that is going to be turned out to be 0. Okay, right. Now similarly you will have an coefficient, that is going to be 1 by pi an. So it is very easy to memorize. Okay, so it is, so a naught by 2, why it is written, why we are writing it as a naught by 2 instead of a naught is because otherwise here 1 by 2 pi will come. Okay, so either you fix 2 here 1 by 2 or fix 1 by 2 here. Okay, either way. Okay, so to make it similar pattern with a naught, an and bn, okay, so we are making here a naught by 2. Now a naught equals to 1 by pi integration minus pi to pi f of x dx. Now you can an is the coefficient of cos function, cosine. Okay, okay, so cos nx, so certainly you have f of x times cos nx, you have multiplied with, so f of x times cos nx, integrate over minus pi to pi 1 by pi. For coefficient bn, you have f of x multiplied by sin nx, integration minus pi to pi times 1 by pi. Okay, so these are very easy to memorize, this Euler's formula or Fourier coefficient formula. Now use the definition that f of x is minus k over the interval minus pi to 0, and it is k over the interval 0 to pi. Now you solve it this integral and then show that this value is 0, so that you can be supposed to verify. It is very simple. Okay, right. Now similarly you can have bn. So in the bn, 1 by pi integration minus pi to pi f of x sin nx. Okay, so now integrate all the things. Okay, over the interval, use the definition of f of x, that is minus k over minus pi to 0, and f of x is k over 0 to pi. Now integrate both the integral, substitute upper limit minus lower limit. Okay, so I have expressed simplified everything here in the notes. Okay, so that you can actually verify, okay, when you are writing it. So it's all are written. with explanation. So from here, k by n will come out, okay, and you have 2 times 1 minus cos n, okay, because minus here will come in, so it is 1 minus cos n pi. So you will have 2 times 1 minus cos n pi. So what you will get is Bn equals to 2k by n pi times 1 minus cos n pi. Now, if you recall, what is cos n pi? So you know cos pi is minus 1, cos 2 pi is 1. So it is going to be minus 1 to the power n. Okay, cos 3 pi is minus 1, cos 4 pi is 1, and so on. So for odd n, we have minus. For even, we have plus. Okay, so now if you look at it or more carefully, what it will give you, for if you have n is even, so minus 1 to the power even number is 1, so 1 minus 1 is 0. So this is where the second case here, if n is even. So if n is odd, you have 1 minus minus 1, so that is 2, so 4k by n pi. Okay, so now, so you have a naught is 0, an is 0, and bn is these values. So now, then Fourier series can be represented by a naught by 2 plus this and so on. This is going to be the following. So only bn coefficient means you are going to obtain only sine series, you can say. If you have bn is absent, you will have cosine series. Okay, so depends on the problem. So it may happen that both an and bn are non-zero for some values. So you will have the combination of cosine and sine. Okay, so in this case, we are obtaining a sine series for this sphere waves. Okay, right. Now we are going to look at how this is good in approximating this sphere wave is. If you so whenever you try to identify, so this is, see, you have, this is 4k by pi, okay, time sine x plus, so this is summation n equals to or you can say n equals to 1 to capital N sine of nx divided by n. Okay, so I am writing this in this, okay, and wait a minute. So I have here 2n plus 1. Okay, so I just write it here more carefully. So this is going to be sine of you have 2n minus 1x divided by 2n minus 1. So for n equals to 1, you have sine x by 1. So for n equals to 2, you have sine 3x by 3, and so on, with plus sign. Okay, now if you want to approximate it, okay, on computer, okay, means if you are going to use a plot, okay, so you have to, the computer will not understand what is the infinity value, so you have to fix this capital N, is you have to take approximate by sum. Okay, so if you increase the value of n, what will happen? Okay, so this is what you are going to observe. Okay, right. Moreover, from here, what you can derive? So what you can derive is you have f of x equals to, you have 4k by pi times sine x plus sine 3x by 3 plus sine 5x by 5 plus and so on. So this is true for all x belongs to minus pi to pi. So because at sine, so see, this has the function has the point of discontinuities at the point 0, minus pi and plus pi. Okay, so now if you want to evaluate the series value at point 0, okay, what is that? Is 0 only. Sine 0 is 0, sine 3 times 0 is 0, sine 5 times 0 is 0. What about x equals to pi? The series value is sine pi, sine 3 pi, sine 5 pi, and so on. They are also 0. For minus pi, that is also 0. So it will going to be a same as, so this is going to be, you can say for all x belongs to minus pi to pi except at, okay, so that value except at, you have the point of discontinuity 0, minus pi and pi. So at these values, the values are 0. Now, So I can take here x equals to pi by 2. Okay, let's take x equals to pi by 2. Okay, so at x equals to pi by 2, the above theorem guarantees that the value of this f of pi by 2 is equals to 4 times k by pi. You have sine pi by 2, that is 1. Sine 3 pi by 2 is minus 1, so minus 1 by 3. Sine 5 pi by 2 is plus 1 by 5, minus 1 by 7, plus 1 by 9, minus 1 by 11, and so on. So what is f at pi by 2? That is the positive, right? From 0 to pi, what is the value is k. Okay, so f at pi by 2 value is k. Okay, from the definition. So from this, what you will have is pi by 4 can be approximated by this infinite series 1 minus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 5 minus 1 by 7 plus 1 by 9 minus 1 by 11 plus and so on. So pi by 4 value can be approximated by this infinite series. Okay, right. So this is given by Leibniz. Okay, right. So you can evaluate at the point x equals to pi by 2. You can evaluate at x equals to some other value between minus pi to pi where the function is continuous. Okay, right. So now let's see how this behaves when you approximate it. Okay, right. So let's take three approximation. S1 is with taking first term only. Second, S2 is taking first 2 terms, and S3 will take first 3 terms. Okay, and try to plot. Okay, then what you will have is for S1, you have this sine, right? Sine x weighted by 4k by pi. So that is going to be if you plot the graph, that will be looks like this. Now, if you add the second term also here, plus 1 by 3 sine 3x, what will happen is the following. So it's more accurate than the previous one, which is behaving on the line, right? So this is along the line, this y equals to minus k, and along the line y equals to k. This is making good approximation. Now, if you include one more curve here, okay, S3, so it will be more oscillating near this y equals to minus k and y equals to k. So if you keep on increasing, you will get like this, okay, and you have this is like this. If you keep on increasing, so it is actually going to be approximating this rectangular wave, or you can say square wave here. Okay, right. Now let's see how you can generalize this Fourier series on the interval minus L to capital L. Okay, so what you can do is here is minus L less than equals to x less than equals to capital L. So where L is greater than 0. Okay, so what you can do is minus 1 less than equals to x by L less than equals to 1. And this will implies minus pi less than equals to pi x by L less than equals to pi. So it will suggest you, so this will imply you have minus pi less than equals to y less than equals to pi, where y is equals to pi x by L. Okay, so if you rewrite the x by pi x by L in the above case, that will solve your purpose. Okay, there x will belongs to minus L to L, and this y belongs to minus pi to pi. So you will be able to generalize the above result over the interval minus L to L. Okay, so let's say assumption is all assumptions will be the similar as this condition. So let f is piecewise continuous function of period 2L on minus L to L. Okay, then the Fourier series of f on the interval minus L to L is given by this. So where you can see now, instead of nx, you have n pi x by L. Instead of here also sign argument is also n pi x by L. And in the interval, in the integral, here you have instead of, so a naught by 2 here, so let's take this is 1 by, here it's eliminated now. Okay, so what you have is a naught is 1 by L. So you have, so you can determine from the, suppose the interval is minus 2 to 2. So what is 2L is the length of the interval, that is 4. So L value is 2. Okay, over this interval, the length of the interval. Okay, similarly, if you have minus 1 to 1, then 2L is equals to 1 minus minus 1, that is 2. So this implies L equals to 1 for this case. Okay, right. And now, if you recall, if you relate with minus pi to pi, okay, what is minus pi to pi? So in this case, 2L equals to 2 pi, so L equals to pi. So if you replace L equals to pi here, you will actually obtaining the previous Fourier series of minus pi to pi. Okay, so here instead of pi, you can just replace pi by L on this coefficients, like 1 by L, 1 by L, 1 by L, minus pi to pi, now minus L to L, minus L, minus L to L. And you have the argument of cos function and sine functions are instead of nx now n pi x by L, n pi x by L. The rest formulation is same. Okay, right. So this is this will give you the generalization of Fourier series, and the theorem also can be generalized in a similar fashion. Okay, that function, this series is going to actually equals to the function value at the point of continuity, and it is going to be equals to the average of left hand limit and right hand limit at the point of discontinuity. Okay, so that will be the same. So for example, you take this rectangular wave. Okay, so here if you try to observe this minus 2 to 2, let's take, okay, this interval. So minus 2 to minus 1, the value is 0. From minus 1 to 1, the value is k. And from 1 to 2, the value is 0. Okay, so you have here, you have f of x is over the interval minus 2 to 2. Now, from here, you have this 2L equals to 4. This implies L equals to 2. Okay, and this function is periodic with period. You have 2L. Okay, and further, this function is piecewise continuous. Okay, at the points, so you have point of discontinuity at endpoints minus 2, 2, 1, minus 1. Okay, so these are the 4 points of discontinuities here. Similarly, you can find out left hand derivative and right hand derivative exists at each point of the interval. All these 3 conditions you can write. Okay, and then you can actually evaluate the Fourier coefficients. Okay, so by just simply putting down in the formula. Okay, so here it is 2L is equals to 4 implies L equals to 2. Now A naught is given here, so that you can actually verify. It's only simply just evaluating the integral. Similarly for an, you can also evaluate the integral. So you have to just remember when you are working on minus L to L, instead of cos nx by cos nx, you have cos of n pi x by L here. Similarly for the bn, you have sin n pi x by L, and you have 1 by L integration minus L. Rest procedure is the same. Okay, so I have solved it out already. So that is that will be means like okay, that you can verify. Okay, so now look at here. So what is the an value? It will be 0 when n is even number. So you can see when n is even number, it will reduce to the sum k pi, integer multiple of pi, and you know that sign of integer multiple of pi is 0. So it will only give you non-zero value whenever n is odd. Okay, so you know sine pi by 2 is 1, sine 3 pi by 2 is minus 1, sine 5 pi by 2 is 1, and so on, alternating plus minus. And you can evaluate bn value, that is going to be 0 for all n. Now what you are going to obtain is, here is cosine series. Okay, so you are going to obtain the cosine series. Okay, the following that you can verify. Okay, right. So now you can evaluate at point 0, what is the value, what at the value of, so you will get the value. Okay, right, those things you can verify. Okay, so right, now Fourier series, you have Fourier series, this one, right, over the interval minus L to N. Now we are going to make it a continuous case of it. Means we are going to flatten the curve now. Okay, means along the x-axis, instead of means periodicity, means we are going to flatten the curve, means like minus L to L, means when L is tending to infinity. Okay, so this we want to work over it. Okay, so now the when, so Now, I hope you are able to observe that which we have seen in the case of Riemann integral as well. When you means like a limit over the sum is tending to infinity, that is actually tending to the integral. Okay, so similarly here, earlier it was the discrete case, now it is going to be continuous case. Means definitely somewhere you will observe that this is going to be equivalent to integral value. Over what interval? Minus L to L, or what interval, that is going to be secant. Okay, so we are going to now flatten the curve. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, which minus L is tending to infinity. Okay, so what will happen is going to be, means you are going to have the continuous case now. Okay, so here I am giving you A0, AN and BN values. They are very well known now so far. So you have, this is if you relate with the previous one, it is because we are writing it, because we are going to limiting, we are going to limit, means we are going to apply the limit L tends to infinity. That is why here F is depending on L. What is the approximation in terms of Fourier series? Then what happens when limit L tends to infinity? So this integral value, where it will tend. Okay, so Wn is nothing but n pi by L. Okay, so if you recall, this is nothing but cos of n pi v by L and sine of n pi v by L. You can relate with the previous just now we have seen. Okay, right. So our is find out what our aim is find out what happens if we let L tends to infinity. Okay, so now when you are talking about integral case, you certainly require some of the convergence. So when you are you have this now, if L tends to infinity, definitely integral will tends to this minus infinity to plus infinity, means you have been landing into improper integral. So means you certainly require the convergence of that, otherwise you can't work. Okay, so convergence means it should have the finite value. Okay, right. So now, so I'm just directly straightforward stating the condition. Okay, and writing down the respective integral. Okay, so it's going to be generalization of the previous theorem only to the continuous case. Okay, so if you take any finite interval, means like part of that interval minus L to L, or 2 to 3 or 4 to 5 and so on. Okay, the function is piecewise continuous and has a right-hand derivative and left-hand derivative at every point. Okay, that's the very first condition that we have already stated for the previous case. Okay, and if this improper integral minus infinity to infinity mod f of x dx converges. So, okay, so now if you look at back, so if you try to bound it, this integral minus infinity to infinity, so you know, if suppose function is bounded, okay, or you can say, see, cos of w and v, you know what is, you know, the cos of any wx is less than equals to 1 for our x. So this function cos and sine function are bounded functions. So only remaining with, if this integral is absolute converges, then your that means whatever you require, that will be valid, means like you will get that here. Okay, so let me say more here. And if this integral, this improper integral converges, okay, right, then f can be represented as the following. So that certainly the constant term in the long run will going to be disappear. Okay, so you have, this is instead of an, now we have a of w, instead of bn, now you have b of w, and the integral is over 0 to infinity. Okay, where this a of w and b of w can be given by the corresponding cosine integral and sine integral. So that is going to be, again, you can look at, okay, that's going pi integration minus infinity to infinity. So f of b time cos of w d and p of w is sine integral. So this is similar as bn. Instead of now 1 by L, now you are having 1 by pi. Okay, and integral minus L to L, you have minus infinity to plus infinity. So if you purposefully substitute b of w is 0. So if you purposefully substituting b of w is 0. then you will have the cosine integral. If you purposefully substituting a of w is 0, means you will have the sine integral representation of f. Okay, so this is known as the Fourier integral representation. Okay, in combination of both a of w, b of w. So if you purposefully substituting w is 0, means you are going to get the Fourier cosine integral representation. Means a of w is non-zero. We are assuming that. Okay, so if it is going to come, you are going to have Fourier cosine integral representation. If you purposefully substituting a of w is equals to 0, means this term will not longer be there. So you will only have the cosine integral sine integral representation of the function. Okay, right. So that we are going to see with the examples. Okay, right. So again, at a point where f of x is discontinuous, the value of the Fourier integral equals the average value of the left and right hand limit of f of x. It's the same. So at the point of continuity, it is equal. At the point of discontinuity, it is equals to the average of left and right hand limit of f of x. Okay. So let's take one example. So for which we are interested in the Fourier integral representation of the function. So here f of x is 1 if mod x less than 1 and 0 if mod x greater than 1. So this is the curve. If you plot the curve on the xy plane. Okay. So whenever mod x is greater than 1, it is 0. Okay. It is flattened. Okay. And when you have 1, if mod x is less than 1. So let's see whether all the conditions satisfied or not. Now you can see at the point of like -1 and 1, okay, that function is not continuous, and elsewhere it is continuous. Okay, that's very first thing. Second thing, it is differentiable also everywhere except at those points x equals to 1 and -1. But left hand derivative and right hand derivative exist. Okay, they are not equal. Okay. Further, you want to evaluate or you want to show that integration minus infinity to infinity mod f of x dx is converges. So whenever you are talking about minus infinity to infinity mod f of x, means f of x will assume the value. So f of x is assume the value 1 if mod x less than 1, 0 if mod x greater than 1. So it's anyway positive. So mod x. So mod of f of x is again 1 if mod x is less than 1, 0 if mod x is greater than 1. So for this integral will be comes out in terms of it will be non-zero when the x value lies between -1 to +1. Okay, and elsewhere, so minus infinity to -1 value is 0. For 1 to infinity value is 0. So -1 to 1 dx, and over this interval -1 to 1 mod f of x value is 1. So that this integral value is 2. So which is finite, hence converges. So this integral converges, right? So all the conditions are true. Now, so at every point of continuity, f of x can be represented by the following integral. Okay, so now we are talking. So we are having a of w and b of w by the above integral formulas. And what is w here? W is, if you recall, what is w is n pi by L, right? That is w is, what is w here? So L is tending to infinity, right? So w is w here only. Okay, there is nothing. Okay, because we are not having any L here. Okay, so here w value is only. Okay, fine. So a of w and b of w can be evaluated now. So a of w is what? 1 by pi integration minus infinity to infinity f of v times cos of wv dv. Okay, so now you know that f of v is only non-zero over the interval -1 to 1, and that value is equals to 1 over that interval. So this integral will turn out with this. Now integrate this cos of wv over this interval -1 to 1. So you are going to obtain the following. So that you can verify. Cos integration is sine wv divided by w, and if you substitute values 1 and -1. Okay, you will get it. Okay, right. Now in the case of b of w is 0. Why? Because in the b of w case you have 1 upon pi integration minus infinity to infinity f of v times sine of wv dv Okay, so that is equals to 1 upon pi integration minus 1 to 1 sine of wv dv. Now over this interval minus 1 to 1 sine function is odd function. So by definite integral property that value is 0. Or else you can evaluate it. Okay, so b of w is absent now. Okay, b of w is 0. So only a of w is there. So what happen is now for 0 less than equals to x less than 1, f of x value is given by, you have a of w is, so if you recall, f of x is equals to integration 0 to infinity a of w time cos of w dv. Cos of w dv. B of w is 0. So now what is a of w value is 2 by pi sine w by w. So 2 by pi is out. We have cos of wv sine of w by w dw. Okay, so recall one thing. So one thing is here is you can note it down is in the integral representation, you can see a of w is coming out as a function of w, means you are in the integral, you have the integral with respect to v. Okay, and in the Fourier integral representation, you are having the integral with respect to w. Okay, that you keep in mind. Okay, so if you replace the things, okay, so what you will observe is the following. So here a or w value you can substitute. Okay, and what is here is instead of v we can use here x now if we want to compatible with that. Okay, right, so a of w value is 2 by pi w, so the cos wx sine w by w dw. So this will give you a very important integral value. So integration 0 to infinity cos wx sine w by w dw is equals to pi by 2, and this value will be, these are equal whenever x is lies between 0 to 1. Okay, so because at the point of x equals to 1, this is the point of discontinuity, so it must be equals to the average value. Okay, right, now for x equals to 1, what will happen? So for x equals to 1, so for x equals to 1 you have this is this left hand side, that integral is equals to the average of, because at already mentioned that at x equals to 1 the point of discontinuity, so at it's the average of left hand limit and right hand limit. So if you look at the definition of the function, f at 1 plus is 0 and f at 1 minus is 1. Okay, because if you recall, what is f of x is 1 if mod x less than 1 and 0 if x is greater than 1. So when x is tending to 1 plus, it is going to come equal to this 0, and for x 1 minus, it is going to be 1. So you have 0 plus 1 by 2, so that value is 1 by 2. So from here x is equals to, you can take as x equals to 1 here. Okay, so this will imply the following here. So okay, this is not given here. So what is there is you have here is cos w times sine w by w dw is equals to this. Okay, so you have to replace x by 1. Okay, right, so this value will give you this important integral. Okay, now you can see 2 times cos w sine w is nothing but sine of 2w. So what you will have is 1 by pi integration 0 to infinity sine of 2w by w dw is equals to 1 by 2. Okay, so now if you again you are going to multiply and divide by 2. Okay, so you have this 2w here, you have 2 here, so sine of 2w by 2w dw is equals to 1 pi by 4, right? So you will get the values here. Okay, so this is how, so here pi by 4 if x equals to 1. Okay, for the 0 less than equals to x less than 1, pi by 2, and 0 if x is greater than 1. Okay, so now observation, what is the observation is at x equals to 0 is continuous. So but you know cos 0 is 1. Okay, so this will give you integration 0 to infinity sine of w by w dw is missing here, dw is pi by 2. Okay, so that is also a very important integral which is coming in various application. Okay, and you have I think you have already have one such type of function, but it is on our in the your project sin t by t. Okay, that also is there. So that value is nothing but the pi by 2. That also can be approximated by taking the help of Laplace transform as well. Okay, right. So that we'll also see by using the Laplace transform. This value is pi by 2. Okay, right. So Fourier cosine integral and Fourier sine integral, we have already explained there that if we have the BW absent there, we have the cosine integral representation. If we have the A of W absent there, means we have the sine integral representation. Means we are very first thing is we are purposefully substituting, okay, to get cosine integral representation or sine integral representation. Okay. Another thing is, suppose, see, what will happen here is, suppose everything is fine, means you have the following condition, that integration minus infinity to infinity mod f of x dx converges. Okay, then you can show that, see, if f is suppose even function, okay, if f is even, so then f is even, cos function is even, so even into even is even function. Okay, and this over interval, we can't say anything that whether it's coming out 0 or non-zero, we don't know. But certainly we can talk about b of w. F is even, sine is odd, so it will turn out to be odd function. Okay, and then you can certainly have this value of this integral is going to be 0 because of this fact that integration minus f to infinity mod f of x dx converges. Okay, now if f is odd function, so I hope you were able to relate with what do you mean by even function. Means if you replace x by minus x, it is f of x value itself. If for example x square, x power 4, okay, even powers. So if you replace x by minus x, and if it is getting you minus time f of x, means it's a odd function. Okay, and if you can't say anything whether it's f of x or minus f of x, you can't determine whether it is even function or odd function. It's neither even nor odd. Okay, so if in case of odd function, a of w will turn out to be 0 and b of w will turn out have some values, maybe 0 value or non-zero value, we don't know, depends on the definition of the function. Okay, so this is why here you have this, you can see this assumption that a of w is f has a Fourier integral representation and f is even, so then b of w is 0. So you have the following Fourier integral representation, which we call as Fourier cosine integral. Okay, so instead of now, see, 1 by pi, earlier a of w was 1 upon pi time integration minus infinity to infinity of this argument. Now, in that like definite integral property, you have 2 time integration 0 to a minus a to a. So similarly here also it will be done. Okay, so but this is, keep in mind that this is improper integral. So we have here an addition that integration minus infinity to infinity mod f of x dx converges. Okay, then only it remains true, otherwise no, we don't know. Okay, right. So this Fourier representation of f reduces to following, that we will say as Fourier cosine integral. Okay, so if you have f is odd and f has a Fourier integral representation, then a of w is 0 and then you will have the corresponding Fourier sine integral representation of f. Okay, so that is here is written. Okay, w is called Fourier sine integral representation of f. And now we are going to see a very fundamental function for which you will see what will be the Fourier cosine integral for sine integral of that. Okay, so for that you have this following example. You have f of x equals to e to the power minus kx. Okay, and which is, you know, very a nice function which is continuous, which is differentiable, which is okay, which is very nice function. Okay, right. Now what we want is, we want its Fourier cosine integral representation. Means have this f of x equals to integration. Suppose cosine integral representation means 0 to infinity e to the power minus kx times cos of w x dx. That will be the Fourier cosine integral representation. Sorry, this is going to be f of x is going to be this is going to be a of w time cos of wx dw, where a of w is equals to 2 by pi integration 0 to infinity f of x, or you can say f of v cos of wv d. Now you replace f of v by this e power minus kx, and now you have to use that standard formula integration e to the power ax into sine bx or e to the power ax into cos bx formula. Okay, and then apply the limits. Okay, so that I can give you here explanation here. Okay, later on you can verify that. So for Fourier cosine integral representation of f, we proceed as follows. A of w is this. Okay, so this is going to here, and if you I'm writing here, the integration by parts will give you e power ax into cos bx dx formula. Okay, and replace carefully a equals to minus k and b equals to w. So what you will observe the following. Now not that when you apply limit v tends to infinity. Okay, suppose you are applying limit v tends to infinity, because it's an improper integral. You have to apply the limiting case. Upper limit is going to be in limiting sense. So if limit v tends to infinity, now look at this bracket term. This is a bounded function. Okay, sine wv and cos wv, they are less than equals to 1. Okay, and k by k square plus w square is independent of v. So this entire term, this coefficient of e to the power minus kv coefficient is remain bounded. Okay, bounded by some constant. So means as v tends to infinity, e power minus kv tends to 0, means this is going to be bounded and it is going to tending to 0. Okay, so in conclusion, this tends to 0 as v tends to infinity. And so therefore upper limit will give you the 0 value. Okay, at v equals to infinity, and for at v equals to 0, you can the right hand side expression v equals to 0. So k by k square plus w square with negative sign, e power minus e power 0 is 1, sine 0 is 0, cos 0 is 1. So what you have is minus k by k square plus w square. Okay, so the right hand side expression equals to this. When v approaches to infinity, the right expression approaches to 0. Therefore, what is a of w is 2 by pi time. 2 by pi time. So you have the lower limit is v equals to 0 is the lower limit. So minus plus here. Okay, upper limit minus lower limit. Okay, so a of w is 2 by pi time k by k square plus w square. So you can substitute the value in the Fourier cosine integral representation. Okay, so what you will have is just the following. So for different value of x, you can evaluate these values. Okay, and you can see, okay, that actually approximating the e power minus kx. Okay, so this above integral representation will give you the following. So this integral value, this is a very important integral, okay, which can be evaluated by just simple this function, pi by 2k time e to the power minus kx. Okay, but this integral, this side integral is too complicated. Okay, right. Similarly, you can talk about the Fourier cosine, Fourier sine integral representation, and you will get the result. So for Fourier sine integral representation of f, we will proceed in the same way. Okay, so what you will get is the following. Okay, so that you can verify. Okay, I think we can end here. Okay, fine. Thank you.